Good morning. Good morning. How are you today? Good morning. And as you get here, make sure you say hello and let me know you're here as I hit go live in all the places. Now let me pull this up on my phone. You guys know the drill, right? Where are we? There it is. Whoops. I hit the wrong button. Sorry, guys. Hold on a second. All right. It is a quite cold yet beautiful morning today. I took the dog out this morning and it was 12 degrees. And like I said the other day, when the temperatures were beginning to drop, if you wear the right clothes, it can actually feel quite warm to the point that as I was, when I first started out, of course, my body's kind of cold and I go walking and I'm walking him. And then as my body's heating up, I'm starting to feel a little too warm in all the stuff that I had on to make sure that my skin was protected, right? And so by the time I get back to the house, I'm sweating and I'm trying to get all this stuff off because I'm so warm. So it's really strange. And I've never been a skier or anything like that, but I used to always wonder when people would talk to me about going skiing and how fun it was. I'd think, and be out there in the cold like that? Who the heck wants to do that? But now I kind of understand it a little bit. If you wear the right clothing, the cold weather doesn't feel like that much, right? Till you get back in and you're all sweaty. So, good morning, guys. And as you get here, make sure that you say hello. I'm so excited to be here with you this morning. And, I'm just going to share, I have a couple of programs that are going. One just finished, and now I got a couple more. But I just dropped the ball with one of them, I will admit. And anybody that is in the Mining Your Acres of Diamonds group, I normally, as soon as I get off the Monday call, I create all the content for the week and I post it in there, right? And then while I had this other program going, it came right after our live came right after that. So then I was later getting to it, and it seemed like this Monday, and I'm not arguing for my limitations. I'm just sharing with you an experience I had, but I did the Mining Your Acres of Diamonds call, and normally I would do all the content for the week right after. But then I also had the Shake Your Sugar and Shimmy Your Soul program, so I had that call. And when I got off that call, I still hadn't had dinner, so I went and had dinner. And I sit and I relax with dinner, and then it's cold, so I got up under the covers on the sofa with the puppy, and it just went right out of my head and I didn't create the content for the week. And so that's what on my agenda for today. So yesterday, no content got dropped because I dropped the ball. But it's because, we do things, and you might agree with me, but we are creatures of habit. And if I get just a little bit out of that routine of getting these things done, it doesn't stay in my mind or in my field of vision, so to speak. And so I didn't even think about it until this morning when I got up and I thought I need to check and make sure that everything is dropping properly. And all of a sudden I thought, oh, I didn't even create it. So, it happens to all of us. And the world doesn't come to the end. I didn't die. Everything is okay. And I'm sure the people in the group did not suddenly say, oh my gosh, this is worthless, and stop coming, right? And I think sometimes we need to give ourselves a little bit of grace, and it's okay. like I said, I didn't die. The world didn't end. I didn't get daggers thrown at me. I didn't get anybody reaching out and saying, "How dare you?" Nothing, right? So they will just be more appreciative as the next things comes because I've already been working on them a little bit this morning, and it's going to be so good, so good. All right, so let me go ahead and share today's affirmation. Good morning, Kimmy. Good morning. Good morning. I think I hit the wrong button. Doggone it, I did. Hold on a second. Hold on. And I knew it just as soon as I hit that button that I had done the wrong one. All right, so let's see. And Kimmy, I see that you're there. So I am, hold on, let me do this or I will end up doing the same thing again and hitting the wrong button. So I just want to say, Kimmy, make sure you go and check out the Shake Your Sugar and Shimmy Your Soul group today because I'm going to be dropping a video that Christine and I did yesterday. I'm not sure what time, so just kind of check it out. I'll tag everybody, so just make sure you check that out. All right, so and as you get here, make sure that you say hello and let me know that you're here. And over on Instagram land, thank you for being here as well. And chime in on the discussion if you would like. So here comes today's affirmation and journal prompt. I am ready and willing to change. I embrace growth with an open heart and trust that transformation brings me closer to my best self. And I even had a program that I did quite a while back that was the title of it. I'm ready and willing to change. Because, a lot of times we say we want to do something different. We want to do something better. We want to, let's look at, it's the easiest thing to measure is, the weight, the body thing, right? Course money is too, but let's do the weight thing. So let's say that someone and they said, "Oh, I'm going to lose 20 pounds and I'm going to eat better. I'm going to be healthier. I'm going to work out. I'm going to do all these things," right? And they really want to do that. They say they want to do that, but they don't take any actions toward doing that, or they do it and it's very fleeting. And this is one of the things I help people with hypnosis, because we are so able to say what we want to do, and a lot of times we don't do it, right? But a lot of times it's because it's a pie in the sky thing. It would be nice to lose 20 pounds, but it's not life threatening. It's not, if I don't lose the 20 pounds, it'll be okay. And then that means that we are really not ready and we're not willing to change. It's a good idea and we would like to do it, but not a priority, right? And I just had, there's a new member of the group, Kristen Gutierrez. I think I said it right. Gutierrez. She was on my podcast yesterday, and the name was a thing that I was having a hard time with. Good morning, Lynn. Good morning. But a lot of the things that we talked about in the podcast was, that people with not really being able or having a strong enough why to make the changes. And so if you're not sure why you're wanting to make the change, you got to start digging a little deeper and get to the real why. And, when I'm working with a client and I ask them, why is this important to them? People usually give me the typical superficial things, like when it comes to, let's say, weight. One of the things for me when I was really, really heavy was that I just wanted to look better. I wanted to feel better, right? But it wasn't a big enough why. And when it came down to it, It was so that I would have a longer life, so that I would have the opportunity to make a difference in the world before I pass away, right? And that was my big why, was because if I kept on the path I was on, I wasn't going to have the opportunity to make a difference in the world because I wasn't going to be here. And and so that was a bigger why. And then when my granddaughter came around, it was because I wanted to be, the thing that came to it as well was I wanted to be more mobile. I wanted to have more energy to be able to play with her and just enjoy the relationship and play full out, right? Whereas the bigger I was, the less energy I had, the less likely I was to be able to do all of that and be around to see her grow up. And so it's not only is being ready and willing to change, it's knowing why you want to do it, right? All right, let's see right here. Good news. Last month, purchased a new vehicle, and October, November, went to a job fair through my employer. February 10th, 2025, I'll be starting my new job position as a medical officer assistant. Yay! Making more money per hour. Talking to my daughters and their children have been amazing. Plus, seeing all of my grandkiddos, it's been a lot of blessings. I am grateful. Ah, thank you for sharing that, Kimmy. That is beautiful. I love it. I love it. And, you know, you and I have talked many times, you know, with your relationships and all the different things that you were wanting to do. And so that's really, really cool. So now when you start having all these things changing in an amazing way, sometimes it's important to go back and look, and now what is my why? Because all of this is starting to happen and it's feeling delicious. But now what? Right? So do some reflection today, if you can find the time, which we can if we try, if we really want to. Let's don't say try. That's not the word I want to do. But if we really want to get into this space of being our best self, now what? Now what is my why? Because I've had to reevaluate what my why is many times, because I just said one of my whys was my granddaughter. And those that don't know that story is when she was, and she, well, I don't want to get into the whole thing, but once she was five, when she was 5 years old, right before her fifth birthday, is the last time I saw her, and she's now 10. And, you know, so the why of to be able to play with her and do all that stuff, that kind of just disintegrated, right? Because that's not a why now. And so I had to go back and look, okay, so now why do I want to be healthier and have more energy and more stamina and move, right? So now it's because as you get older, what is it that people always tell you? Now, you guys, I may be a little bit older than a lot of you guys, which I think I am. But the thing that I hear all the time, and it's like, I just want to put on earmuffs, or I want to put on something in my ear so I don't hear all this crap. Because like yesterday, I had a client in my salon, and she's a wonderful person, wonderful person. I love her to death. I've been doing her hair for a very long time, but oh my gosh, if she can't find the things that are wrong in the world, nobody can, right? And the entire conversation with her was all about how she has this medicine that she's taken. This is going wrong and this is going wrong. And every single time she would tell me about something, she'd say, well, are you having that problem? And I'd say, no. She said, well, you will, because you're older. And it's like, no, I won't. And so there was one thing that she told me, and I don't even remember because I kind of trying to get all that stuff, that energy off of me, right? One of the things that she told me, she said, well, you know, that happens to everybody. And I said, no, it doesn't. I said, if it did happen to everybody that got older, that it would be like a thing, like you hit 65 and everybody in the world has that problem. I said, it's not an age problem, it's a people problem. And she just kind of went, but it was like, it was just grating me, right? Because she can have all the problems that she wants, but she ain't going to lay it on me. And I think a lot of times we get into this place where people are always wanting to have us agree with what's going on with them. Like people that'll say, well, there's no good men around. Isn't that right? And they want you to agree, right? But that's not true. That's not true because there are a lot of amazing men out there, just like there's a lot of amazing women. But the problem is that when you're in that space of seeing all the bad things, that's all you're going to see. We've talked about that a million times, it feels like, right? It's our 2000 bits are all designed and in our world because of the way we think and see the world and things. And so when we want to make a change in our life and we want to expand our horizons and we want to be the best that we can be, we can't let other people's ideas get attached to us. We cannot listen to them and agree. We have to just say, okay, we can agree to disagree. That's not how I see the world. And so, like I'm saying, when my why with my granddaughter, that desire, when that was gone, I had to find another one to help me to stay on the path that I wanted to be on, right? Because if we don't have a why for what we're doing, it just the tiny little blip in your world is going to say, that's not worth it. All right. I work out, I feel sore. I don't want to feel sore. So it's finding your why. And now my why, when it comes to my body, is I want to be the exception to this rule that this woman has. I already am, and I want to be it to a greater degree. I don't even know if that makes sense. And I'm trying not to get on my soapbox, but here I am standing on my soapbox. What is the name of the video? Are you talking about the one I was saying that I was going to put into the that I was telling Kimmy about? If that's what you're referring to, then that is actually Kimmy is part of a program that just ended. It was called Shake Your Sugar and Shimmy Your Soul, and it was all about weight, nutrition, mindset, and we had movement, which was belly dancing. And we're actually going to be doing it again in February. But I believe that might be what you're referring to. So we did Christine and I are the ones that are doing the program, or created the program. And so we did a video that I'm dropping in there today. And I think that's what you're talking about. But thank you for being here, Sandra. All right, so what does this say? If more of us would learn to agree to disagree, life would be better. Yes, yes, yes. And, stand up for your beliefs. Like most of the time, I just let what people say just kind of, especially in my salon space, right? I just let it just kind of wash over me. But it was like yesterday, I had heard way too many pieces of information from her from the time she walked in the door. And I even have a sign up in my salon that says, welcome to a stress-free zone. Or now entering a stress-free zone. And so a lot of times I will point that sign out, right? And say, okay, well, let's change the subject here. But it was like nothing was quieting her. And so I finally had to say, no, that is not true. That is not my truth. And maybe it's your truth. I didn't say it that way, but you know what I mean. So a lot of times, like I said, people want us to agree with their view of things. And it's okay to say, that's interesting. No, I haven't seen that. Right? Haven't noticed that. It's okay. Because you don't want to agree with things that you do not want to internally take into your world. All right, so now let me share the journal prompt. Whoops, hold on, it didn't. Let's see if I can take something off and maybe it'll all come together. Delete. Hold on. Just talk amongst yourselves. I don't know why that makes me giggle, but it does. An error occurred. Wait a moment, then try again. Okay, I'm not sure what that's about, but anyway. All right, so here is your journal prompt. What areas of your life feel ready for growth and transformation? Where do you feel that? This is the time to just kind of look at your life, and that's not just your physical life, right? It's your spiritual life, your business life, your relationships, your relationship with yourself. Did I say spiritual? I don't remember. But there's different, our life is like this big circle of things, right? And we, like, I've got a process that I take some of my clients through, and it's about the circle, your circle of life. And it's like you have this circle and all the different pieces of your life, and you rate them. And as you rate them, you kind of do the connect the dots thing, right? And then you can see where you need the most growth in your life, where you need the most change, where is it falling flat compared to the other things, right? And because what happens a lot of times is that we know a couple of things and we will work diligently on the one that feels the easiest to work on. And it's not necessarily the one that needs the most. And so it's really good to go through that process to see where you're really needing, or it would benefit you to have some really growth and some attention to an area of your life. And so it's really good to see what area of your life do you feel is ready for growth and transformation. Remember, you are ready and willing to change. So what needs your attention? What is calling to you saying, look at me, right? Really spend some time really diving into that and thinking and contemplating, and because it may not be what you think, right? And then just make a list of the changes that could help you thrive, that could help you soar, help you be exactly who you want to be. And then reflect how each one of those items could bring you closer to the life you truly want. And it's, you appreciate the things that you have, but then you've look at the things that you really want. And remember, it's what is the reason that you want those things, right? Because if there's not a big enough why, the first obstacle that you come across will derail you and deflate you. And the thing is, remember, opportunities show up a lot of times as obstacles. And it's not that it's put in your path to just steamroll you. It's put in your path to change your path. Because, it, like I reference it all the time, if you got your GPS out, and I even use my GPS a lot of times when I know exactly where I'm going, because it will reroute me around traffic. It will reroute me around an accident. But if I went on my normal path to get there, then I might end up sitting a long time in traffic. I might end up being part of or witnessing a terrible accident, right? And the thing is that when we're have this obstacle that comes in front of us and has us rerouting, it's not to derail us. It's to help us get on the path faster, to get where we want to go with more clarity, with more joy. And a lot of times we're on a path that's just filled with obstacle after obstacle after obstacle, because we're not moving in a different path when that obstacle comes. We're not looking to see anytime an obstacle shows up, it's like, whoa, what is this trying to teach me? Why is it important for me to change direction? What is it about this that would benefit me if I could see it? And so it's looking at the obstacles that show up as a messenger of a new path, a different way. And when you can start seeing those obstacles as that, delicious, right? You will grow and expand in ways that you never dreamed of. You have to be ready and willing to change, right? What areas of your life feel ready for growth and transformation? Now, it doesn't say here, are you ready for growth and transformation? It's what areas of your life feel ready. And those things will pop up and show you that this is where I need to work on. If you have any part of your life that there's a little bit of angst involved, if there's a part of your life where it feels like, oh, this again, right? So it's looking at your life with a different lens, a different view of what is going on. And then make a list of the changes that could help you thrive, help you soar in your life. And then reflect on how each one of those could bring you closer to the life you truly want, the life that you desire, your best life. All right, now I'm going to go back to our affirmation. And remember, anything that comes after the words I am is ultra powerful. You're claiming it as that is who you are. And your subconscious mind, it doesn't know when you're saying I am, whether it's true or it's something you want or it's fiction. It doesn't know. It only takes everything you say as truth. So I've talked about this before. When you say I am, and you notice that you're saying things that are a little bit on the negative things, you're not saying what you really want. You can start catching that in action and say, well, that's not what I mean. And you rephrase it, right? So today, the phrase for power is I am ready and willing to change. That's a powerful statement, right? Not only are you ready for change, but you're willing to do it. You're open to however it's going to show up. I embrace growth with an open heart and trust that transformation brings me closer to my best self. Transformation brings me closer to my best self. And who doesn't want that, right? Okay, Sandra, thank you for saying that I do grief coaching and people want me to come into agreement that they would never live again. Yes. Yes, Sandra. People are all the time wanting us to agree with their limiting beliefs about whatever it is. So, yeah. So, and it's like I said, it's okay to say, I understand how you feel without taking it as ownership. Because it's like there are so many times whether it's with my salon clients or my coaching clients, that I just have to say, I understand how uncomfortable that is. It has to really feel uncomfortable and not take ownership of it. Yeah. Let's see. What does that say? Okay. All right. So I am ready and willing to change. I embrace growth with an open heart and trust that transformation brings me closer to my best self. Put that on your index card, the screensaver on your phone, your sticky notes. Put it on a piece of paper and stick it to your fridge. Put it somewhere that today you are reminded, and you can make this your mantra for today as you're going about doing things and you're moving your body. Like we talked about that yesterday, just flowing through life, right? Let's flow and let our voice inside say, I'm ready and willing to change. I've got this. I'm ready and willing to change. And let that be the voice in your head today, because the voice in our head is so powerful. Like I said, your subconscious doesn't know when you say things, whether it's true or not. It takes it as fact. So if you say, I am, and then you follow it with something like failure, stupid, uncoordinated, unhealthy, fat, ugly, not smart. I mean, no, whatever it is that comes after that, your subconscious says, okay, that must be true, and it will find evidence of it everywhere. Remember, our lens of the world. So start giving your subconscious powerful, powerful I am statements, and watch this outer reflection begin to change. It doesn't change overnight. Just like this morning, I was listening to a podcast, and I do not, it's the first time I've ever listened to this guy, and I don't remember what his name was. But anyway, one of the things that he said was so clear in how to explain something. And it's like, a lot of times we're wanting to change our outer environment. Let's say it's finances. We're wanting to change our outer environment. So we go headlong into all this action, 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 right? About getting more money. And then when we get more money, because of our internal thermostat for our finances, it just keeps getting taken away. Whether it's we lose it, somebody steals it, or all these different things start happening that cause us to have to spend more money, right? Flat tire, new bill, new car, new this, right? But it's an inside job, right? And so the way he explained it, and I thought it was brilliant, was that if you have a document, an idea of things, and you print it out on the computer, because you've got your document on your computer, you print it out, and then you look at it, and there's a mistake in there. There's some words that are incorrectly spelled. There's like all kinds of problems in there, and you go and you try to erase those things, and you mark them out, you do all kinds of things to that piece of paper, right? And so it's better for that piece of paper. It's more legible. Maybe the words are spelled better. Maybe you used the old whiteout stuff and you wrote over, right? It's messy, but you did it. But then the next time that thing is printed out, it's still going to have all of that information that you've got to go back and you've got to redo again and again and again and again. But what you have to do is you have to go into the computer where that is actually created, and then you go in and you change it there. And then when it's printed out, it's got all the corrections, right? Most of the time, what we're doing is we're trying to white out the stuff that's going on outside of us, when our internal dialogue, our internal thermostat keeps changing it every single old programming. We're not giving it the opportunity to be changed at the source inside us. And so using this affirmation and being really mindful of what your I am statements are, do a tremendous thing with changing this internal dialogue that we're feeding our subconscious mind, so that it's not reflecting all the things that we don't want out here, right? Is it instantaneous? No, because it's like you've got You got a snowball going downhill, right? And you stop it and you slow it down, but it's got to get to the end of the hill. What is it Abraham Hicks says? It's like when you're standing at the San Francisco, if you've got a car at the top of a hill and you take the brake off and you let it go, it's going to go fast, right? But when it first starts, if you step in front of it and you stop it, it doesn't have the momentum to cause a lot, right? But if you try to do it halfway down the hill, it's going to run you over. So you just have to make sure you catch it early enough. But sometimes that it doesn't work. You don't do it. You don't catch it early enough. So you just kind of have to let it hit the bottom of the hill and then regroup. So what sometimes we're experiencing is not what we just thought. It's what we thought last week. And it's got to peter, it's got to work itself out. As you're changing yourself, your inner dialogue, it begins to affect that snowball, that car that's hitting the bottom of the hill. And so if you keep on the path, like having your big enough why, right? Why do you stay on the path? It's because your why is big enough. Because otherwise, that snowball going down the hill and you're not seeing the results, then it's a big reason to stop, right? And so knowing your why is paramount to change. But the other thing is, what is your internal dialogue? What are your I am statements? Make sure they're powerful, right? Now I'm going to go back to our journal prompt. What areas of your life feel ready for growth and transformation? Make a list of the changes that could help you thrive, and then reflect on how each one could bring you closer to the life you truly want. Now, as I always say, get out your journal, your notebook, put the date, the affirmation, the journal prompt, put the information there, and then spend 10 to 15 minutes in total silence, just focusing on your breath. You've already said and written out your information. Your subconscious mind knows what you're doing. And then as you sit in silence, just focusing on your breath, your subconscious mind is going to be working through all of this stuff. And most of the time we have so much chatter, so much noise going on in our lives that we do not hear that inner guidance, that God voice, that inside voice that has all the answers. All the answers are within us. What I do with hypnosis is I help people to get inside that voice and understand it better and claim it, right? Because most of the time it's all coming at us, but we're not paying attention. We're not open enough. I guess in a way with hypnosis, I'm getting the receptors open so that dialogue can change. And then not only does it change, but it becomes a part of who you are. It doesn't feel like this fleeting thing. It's not willpower. It's who you are. And so after your timer goes off, just allow that to come through your hand, all that intuitive inner guidance to come through your hand and out onto the page. And just write out whatever comes up. No judgment, just write. And then after you've written it all down, then you look at it and decide, where do I start first? What's my next move? Because you've already looked at what area of your life is ready for growth and transformation, right? You've made a list of changes that could help you thrive. But then what do you do with that? Then you take an inspired action from something that's on your list. Just pick one. All right. So I've got a big list of things to work on today, and this will be one of them. And thank you so much for being here and playing full out. And thank you, Sandra, for being here on Instagram. I so appreciate you as well. And anybody that's watching the replay, and just anybody that's like if you're watching the replay on Instagram or on YouTube, and you want to be part of the Stand Up and Stand Out community, which is where this originates, all you have to do is go to VickyPoole.com, VICKIEPOOLE.com, and you'll be prompted to answer questions. And then once you've answered the questions, you'll be admitted in the group. And if you want to go on Facebook and search for it, it is We Stand Up and Stand Out. But I look forward to seeing you even more in the coming year as we are really diving in and becoming our best self, right? All right. So have a day filled with growth and transformation. And I will see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern. Join me, guys. Love you.